This is Unit 1, Goal 1, or Goal 2, and we're talking about order of operations. So the reason that we need an order of operations is we need everyone to do the problems the same way, in the same order. And so we've established, like, it says what kind of a significance or a hierarchy of order that we need to do. If we don't do this, then and we all just kind of do our own thing, then there's not going to be an absolute answer. So this is really important in there. You probably all have seen like the pictures where it'll have like 2 shoes equal 20, and then, or 2 pairs of shoes equal 20, and then it keeps going, and then it has, you're supposed to solve the last one. That's the same type of thing. If you're doing your order of operations, we can all get that same answer and the correct answer on that. So we're going to evaluate numerical expressions by using order of operations. So that means just the way they are. And then we're going to use order of operations with algebraic expressions. So plugging in our unknowns for our unknowns. So when I see the word evaluate, that means to find the value. And then order of operations. Our order of operations is, we kind of remember it, a lot of times you'll hear this PEMDAS, and that is the order that we're going to do it in. So P stands for parentheses or grouping. Parentheses or grouping symbols. So anything that groups parts together, that should be kind of like your focus is on those. E stands for exponents. And then we kind of do these two together. So M and D stand for multiply and divide. E is multiply and divide, so those kind of go together with there. And then A and S is add and subtract. So here we have no parentheses, so the next thing is exponents. So evaluate again is find the value of 2 to the 6th power. So I'm going to take 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 6 times to itself 6 times. So 64 if I multiply that out. They're all the same operation, so I can just solve that out. Right? So this would be the same as 4 times 4 times 4 times 4. So you could break it apart and you could do these 4 times 4, 16, and these 4 times 4, 16. But since it's all the same operation, that's why I can do any 2 first, and then 16 times 16 to 56. So order of operations. Evaluate inside grouping symbols, that's our P for parentheses. Evaluate all powers, that's E for exponents. Multiply or divide is MD, and add or subtract is the last two. So that's where we get the PEMDAS. The only thing is that, remember, P stands for any grouping symbol, and we kind of think, oh, it's just parentheses. This would be like absolute value would be another one that would go in there. So order of operations, I'm looking for P, any grouping symbols, and I don't see anything. So then the next thing is exponents right here. So everybody else has to hang out while we do the 2 to the 3rd power. So 2 times 2 times 2 is what 2 to the 3rd is, which is 8. So I'm going to replace this with 8. And I'm just writing everything else down. Then I've done exponents. So now I have multiply or divide. So left to right usually doesn't really matter. So let's go. Here's a division, or multiply and divide, I should say. So 48 divided by 8 is 6. And everybody else just kind of keeps going. We still have a multiplication. So 6 times 3 is 18. Now I don't have any multiplication, so next step is add or subtract, and I have an addition here, so I add those, so 23. So if I just did this anyway, I wanted to say, oh, I feel like adding first and making this 8, that's going to give me a total different answer. So we got to make sure we're all doing that order of operations. So here we want to do this first. So everything else is, because we're going inside the most, is going to take a little bit of a back seat. And then inside there, I need to do then any groups inside there. There's no groups. So the next thing I need to do is exponents. So 9 squared is 9 times 9. So I'm going to do that as 81 minus 9. Still got parentheses around that because I haven't finished that. So I'm still inside. Well, I could be inside these brackets, which then inside there I need to do parentheses. So 81 minus 9 is 72. Now that parentheses done, so I could really get rid of it. But then we want to go inside this bracket now. So then inside that bracket, I look for exponents, no exponents. Multiply or divide. So I'm going to divide those two. 72 divided by 12 is 6. So now that is all done. I've done everything I can in there. So then I look at the last two and I multiply those because there's no addition between them. So 30 is my answer. So really not hard. We just have to keep following those rules over and over and over again. Right? So here, parentheses. So I got to do this parentheses. 8 minus 3 is 5. And I'm going to keep just writing everything out. I could do these parentheses too because they don't involve each other. So I'll put 5 there. So now I need to do my multiply and divide. So this is multiplication and this is multiplication. So 5 times 3, 15. 15 times 5, 75. So here we're going inside of our parentheses. Here's a grouping symbol, but inside there, then I need to follow the PEMDAS also. So I need to go to this inside grouping symbol, 6 minus 2. Everything else I'll just keep writing out. All right, we are still inside parentheses or inside a grouping, these brackets. So next I have to do this. 12 divided by 4 is 3. Just keep writing everything out. So now I've got all my parentheses done. There's nothing I can do inside there. So now I go to the next step, which is exponents. So exponents is 3 squared. I have to do that first. Then I need to multiply by 4. So 4 times 9 is 36. Well, these things, if we plug them into the calculator, we're going to find that it won't always be correct because calculator just kind of goes left to right. So here, this is considered a grouping symbol because you can't like divide right away. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the top here, and I'm going to do like my 2 to the 5th. So if you don't know how to put that in your calculator, ask so we can put that in. But 2 to the 5th is 32. Haven't finished simplifying, so we're just going to keep working our way through. On top here, next thing I did exponent, so next I'll do multiply. So I'm going to do this. So 32 minus 12. And we're going to keep working. 32 minus 12 is 20. All right, so that's totally simplified in that group. So next, let's look to this group. Got to do powers first. Exponents is next. So 3 to the 3rd is 27. Then I need to, no more powers. So next I multiply and divide. So I got to do this multiplication. Keep that 20. Then I'm going to go ahead and subtract, add and subtract. So 27 minus 18 works. So 20 over 9. And then you would reduce if you could. Over 10. What did I do wrong here? Oh, this is 2. I'm writing this down wrong. 15 minus, or 27 minus 17 is 10. And now I can divide those two because I have my group simplified, so I get 2. So work these out, try them, see if they make sense. We will finish the evaluating algebraic expressions on Wednesday. So I'm going to kind of change that up. So our standard check on Thursday, our standard check will be Friday.